All right, we're here with Coach Rayford from Tennessee Prep. How you doing, Coach?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Not bad. So, how many years have you been on the grind session?
This is 6 years.
All right, that's great. So, talk a little bit about your basketball background. Did you play high school and college basketball?
I did not play high school ball. I'm from a small town, upstate New York, small city, Newburgh, New York. Didn't get a chance to play high school ball. Dealing with politics in the city, where the coach at the time, had conflict with my dad. But I've been playing basketball ever since I was born. I did play college basketball. I was a redshirt at Virginia State University. But also, I played my college basketball at Ulster County Community College in Stone Ridge, New York.
Okay. How did you get into coaching?
My dad being, a pillar in the community. But I knew I was going to be a basketball coach when I was about 12 years old.
And where else have you coached besides Tennessee Prep?
So, background being college, I coached college basketball at my alma mater, Ulster County Community College. I went back after I graduated from Virginia State. I became the head coach in 2009 to 2012 at Ulster County Community College, where I was the youngest minority coach in the country at the time.
All right.
Shortly after, I met my mentor who was at Ulster 10 years prior, Anthony Evans, who was at Norfolk State. And when Norfolk State went on that magical run to upset Missouri, Coach Evans gave me the ring and said, I want you to come on my staff the following year. So I had an opportunity to coach Division I at Norfolk State underneath Anthony Evans, where the year I got on staff, we went 16-0 in conference. Going undefeated, one of 4 teams in the whole country to go undefeated in the conference.
Great.
Went on to playing in NIT. Shortly after Norfolk State, we went to FIU, Florida International University. So I was down in Miami for about 6 to 8 months before, I opened up my first prep school, Concord Prep. So there's many layers and stories within my college coaching background, but that's where I came from before touching ground in Memphis at Tennessee Prep.
So at Tennessee Prep, you bring in a kid his freshman year. You recruit him, he comes to play for you. What is the main goal that you have for that player when he leaves Tennessee Prep?
Development off the floor. Once the basketball stops bouncing, what are you going to do next? But just on the court development, off the court, really just breaking the game of basketball down, breaking down, life skills from time management, money management skills, is really breaking down the overall person outside of just using basketball. We're just using that as a tool.
What kind of a schedule does one of your students have where you have academics and you have basketball? What's a normal day would be like for them?
So early August, when we first get started, the days are very long. We start as early as 5 a.m. So we have a strength and conditioning at 5 from about 5 to 6:30.
All right.
We allow guys to go back, of course, to clean up and wash up. And school starts at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So from 8:30 to about 3:30, these guys are locked in the classroom. We'll do skill work right after, after school, study hall, and then we have team practice at night. So we're pretty much, pounding the pavement with, their schedule being real tight. We don't really have a lot of time for idle time. So everything is like pretty much trump tight with their schedule.
All right. 2020 was such a crazy year, and now into 2021 with the COVID virus. What has it been like playing in the bubbles in the grind session from here in Arizona into Kentucky and back to Arizona again?
Well, just looking at the NBA, the bubble setup is just like what we saw on national television with ESPN. Just being locked in every night, watching film, schoolwork is very, very intense being in the bubble. And you have to be very disciplined when you're in the bubble if your team wants to be successful. So as long as not just, the players, but if the coach sticks to the guns of, the day-to-day schedule, you'll have an opportunity to be successful in the bubble. But the bubble experience is like, bar none. I don't see any, other platform doing the bubble as big as the grind session.
Yeah, now with the grind session, we're coming near the end here. We have the World Championship starting a little over a week, followed by the All-Star game with the three-point shooting contest and the dunk contest. Who are you looking? Who do you think is the favorites right now going into the World Championships, and who are you? Which are the main teams you think have the best shot?
Well, I really like Prolific. They've always done a great job through the years. Pete at OSL, he's one of my favorite guys. I know him back home in New York. There's a lot of good teams, but those two teams stick out because they played in the championship game in the past.
Right.
My sleeper team, of course, is us, Tennessee Prep.
Absolutely.
We're a sleeper. Our chemistry is just clicking. And I also think Minnesota Prep is another sleeper. It's a sleeping giant. So, depending on how the pieces lock in, and I think both clubs can make noise and possibly make an upset.
It's interesting you say upset because Arizona Compass is not only the number one team in the grind session, but the number one team in the United States. And most of the teams in the grind session are getting healthy. Dream City's getting healthy.
Correct.
Prolific's getting healthy. So it's going to be a fantastic tournament next week.
Right.
All-Star game.
One thing I didn't, mention, AZ Compass, we didn't play them this year, so I really didn't see them in action. But just seeing all the noise and what they brought to the grind session this year is major. So I don't want to discredit those guys for all the body of work that they have done. So shout out to AZ Compass for, a magnificent season, playing in a bubble, traveling to play, outside competition outside of the grind session to represent the toughness of the schedule.
Yeah, fantastic. That's very true. So All-Star game, that's going to be interesting because we have so many amazing players here. And I've never seen a grind session All-Star game, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Have you seen one before?
I have. I had Damian Ball, who's starting point guard for University of Memphis. He was in the All-Star game the year LaMelo Ball was in it. It was a really, really exciting time. And last year we had Tyrus Bainham,
Right.
but it got canceled due to COVID-19. So, this year I'm looking forward to Kentrell Blocker doing what he's supposed to do to represent, our brand, Tennessee Prep.
Well, is it like an NBA All-Star game where there's very little defense played? Is it just an offensive performance?
At first it is, but when the clock goes down, things start tightening up because teams want to win.
That's great. Also the three-point shooting contest and the dunk contest. Do you have any players entered in those?
I don't have any players entered in the slam dunk contest.
We have amazing kids in this grind session who can just get off the floor. Kyron Oliver, I think 48, 49-inch vertical leap. Shaden Sharp. Who do you think is a shot at winning the dunk contest?
Jan Ninjak from Trinity International. I think he have a shot at winning it. 6'8", phenomenal athlete. Can throw the ball between his legs. I think he will have a good shot at winning, just depending on what dunk package he brings out. But I think Jan from Trinity. AJ
Martin and I were the grind session announcer. We were talking yesterday. There's so many good players that are fantastic dunkers, like Muhammad Gay from Prolific, but he's 7 foot tall,
right.
And it just doesn't look as exciting for a 7 foot, 7'1" guy dunk as it does for a 6'4", 6'5" guy. So it's gonna be a lot of fun next week. So hey, thank you very much for spending time with us tonight, and look forward to seeing you guys your next time on the court.
Thank you.